All right, and we are live. Maybe. Let's find out. Oh, crap, I didn't tweet about it. Let me do that real quick. While I'm waiting for the stream to start, I'm just gonna make sure that I have tweeted about it. Looks like we are good on Twitch. And there we are. We are on YouTube. I will finish this tweet real quick, though. Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Just before we get going, I do want to warn you that we are in the middle of a winter storm warning in Seattle right now, so there's the possibility I will lose power, and if that happens, I will just disappear. Yeah, so if that happens in the stream, that's probably what's happened. The Answer to Life says, whoop, actually been looking forward to the stream tonight, got some popcorn ready and everything. Oh, fantastic. I am also looking forward to it, but a little bit nervous. So, nope, it's too far away. I wanted to grab a blanket off the couch because it's a little chilly. I have not... I'm thinking, I probably did like the starter competitions at some point, but I haven't entered like an actual active live Kaggle competition, and as an employee, I can't win any prizes. But I thought that it would be a good thing to do because this is a particular problem that is right in my wheelhouse. I actually noticed this as a an in-class competition first, and then it got upgraded to a whole fancy Kaggle competition that's hosted by Google AI. And it's around the problem of, moving my knitting needles out of the way, gendered pronoun resolution. So the idea is if we have a pronoun referring to a person that also has a gender, how accurately can we correctly figure out which word it's actually referring to, right? And there's quite a bit of evidence, and I think, do they mention it here? It looks like they don't. So the research on this topic has found that pronoun resolution is much more accurate currently in English for male pronouns, so he and him, and is less accurate for specifically female pronoun she and her. And they may have looked at they as well, but I'm not entirely sure. And there was this data set, the gendered ambiguous pronouns data set, that was released along with this paper. I've always heard it called Gapminder. I might actually want to do a quick check and make sure that Gapminder and Mind the Gap are the same, which was a paper, presented at ACL 2018, so last year in the place where it is, Spain, maybe? Sweden? I don't remember where ACL was last year. I didn't go. But one of the authors, Jason Baldridge, is someone that I know and have chatted with professionally, and is a cool dude, I would say. And also it's an interesting language problem. Anarchy says, hey, and RollNew32 says, hello today. Hello. It's an interesting language problem because, a priori, there's no reason why different gendered pronouns should have different levels of resolution, right? There's nothing linguistically that suggests that that might be the case. So the reason that we're seeing this is probably due to imbalance in the data set. So my assumption is that the best way to approach this problem is to find an approach that will work well with an imbalanced data set. And you will notice that, well, the data set for training that we are given is 50-50. In the final evaluation data set, we don't know what the ratio will be, right? So we can't just be like, hey, we're always going to guess 50-50, and that's going to be one of the tests that we're going to do, because for the final evaluation, we're not going to know. And you may have noticed, if you checked out the leaderboard, that there's a lot of people with no errors, and that's because this is a publicly available data set. It is on GitHub. We linked to it in the description. We knew that this was this isn't a leak. We knew that this was available, but The thing that's interesting to me is coming up with an approach to this that's going to be a little bit more nuanced than just going and finding the answers on GitHub, because that's not going to be an option in stage 2. All right. Ryan says the other major co-reference data set is Onto Notes and has about 85% male, 15% male. I'm guessing female. Also, I'm almost done last because I actually tried instead of copy the answers. Yes, I am also going to actually try is my plan. Yeah, so I was thinking that we could get started, start a kernel, get the data read in. I've never actually done that stage before, or if I did, it was like a minute ago. So let me join the competition. I should read the competition rules before I hit accept, right? That seems like a good idea. One account per participant. You cannot sign up for multiple accounts. Cannot submit for multiple accounts. This is my testing account and has been flagged as such. So I think I should be good. And again, I can't win. So no private sharing outside teams. It's okay to share if code is made available to all participants on the forums. So I'll make sure to make the kernel that I write today public, so nobody gets a sneaky advantage by watching on YouTube or Twitch. Team mergers, submission limits, deadlines, specific terms, a certain amount of prizes, whatnot. You've got to open source it. Use skills-based competition, legal. You also have to follow these rules. You got to open source it. You have to upload your model. That's good to know. And also, you do have to write a paper. That is a requirement if you win. So if you don't like paper writing, maybe take that into consideration. You must abide by the rules to be eligible. You must be on Kaggle. 18, check. Not a resident of Crimea, Cuba, Iran, Syria, North Korea, or Sudan, check. Not a person representative of an entity under U.S. export controls or sanctions. That should be good. Blah, blah, blah. These rules are binding to you individually. Sponsor and hosting platform. Kaggle has no responsibility. Blah, blah, blah. Competition period. Competition entry. No purchase necessary to win. Individual accounts. Only one unique Kaggle account. Teams. Multiple individuals may do as a team. You may only be in one team. Team mergers are allowed given certain things. Competition data. You can only use the competition. Oh, sorry. You may access and use the competition data for any purpose. So it's Apache 2.0, so you can do whatever you want. And it had been open source previously. What is that? Oh, it's the heater. I'm actually not going to turn it off because, again, it is cold and snowing here. Data security. Blah, 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 blah. Don't be... I guess the data is under Apache. And you can use external data, but you want to make sure that it is, you're not charging for it, or rather it's not being charged for, and you post it on the forums. That's good to know. So if you wanted to do, like Ryan mentioned, there's another co-reference data set. If you wanted to do some data augmentation, that would be fine. Private code sharing, public code sharing is good. Use of open source is you may only use code that is licensed appropriately. We'll pick winners using the things that we talked about. Notification of winners, winners' obligations, prizes, taxes. You're gonna pay taxes. Blah blah blah. Right, some okay. The Answer Life said, can the external data be the answers? I mean, yeah, but again, the thing that you are submitting to stage 2 is a model and not presumably 2 lines of codes that go to GitHub and then submit the code that you got from GitHub. All right. I understand and accept. All right. And now I'm seeing the leaderboard. Very exciting. And let's start a kernel. New kernel. I have no idea what the format of this code is going to be. I'm probably going to do Python for this just because I think it's going to be a little bit easier for accessing all of the NLP libraries that I particularly like. What should we call this notebook? Getting started, how's that? Probably we're going to want NumPy, probably we're going to want pandas, I don't need that. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that. What do the files look like? So we've got, actually let's open them in a new window so we can really take a look. No, the data, that's what I want. All right, in this competition, you must identify the target of a pronoun within a text passage. The source text is taken from Wikipedia articles. You are provided with a pronoun and 2 candidate names to which the pronoun could refer. You must create an algorithm capable of deciding whether the pronoun refers to name A, name B, or neither. Chris says, I call my notebooks dirty names because I'm an edgelord. I mean, they're your notebooks. Unlike many Kaggle challenges, this competition does not provide an explicit labeled training set. Files are also available on the GitHub repo. Note that the labels for the test set are available on this page. However, your final score and ranking will be determined in stage 2 against a withheld private test set. Didiku says, Python, yay! I'm assuming that's what the little man emoticon? I call that an emoticon is. All right, so we got a test set. We've got the correct submission. We got to have the column's ID matching to the ID in the output file format. And I'm reading this carefully because I know from being on the forums, one of the things that will sometimes give people problems is not having their submission headers formatted correctly. Ryan says, one of the public kernels is only one line of code importing and loading and writing the answers to a submission file. It's simultaneously cool and infuriating. Yeah, you know how sometimes if you don't like pick your reward function very carefully, you'll get a pathological model that does something like allowable, but not the thing that you want. I think this is a little bit that. But again, it's a model submission contest, and you, like, if you just have the right answers, you will not learn useful things on how you're doing. All right, the character offset of pronoun in text, the first name candidate, the character offset of name B in text, the second name candidate, the character offset of name B in text. So I'm guessing these are going to be numbers that are the index of the thing in the text. And then finally, the URL of the source Wikipedia page. So if we wanted to go absolutely ham, we could do discourse level modeling by going to get the whole Wikipedia page and looking and seeing at the discussion, sort of like looking at pronoun usage and noun usage throughout. That might be one potential approach. I don't know. Answer to Life says, odds on building an actual model in one line, very low. Unless you're doing that thing where you put semicolons at the end of your line in Python, which is a crime, and you will be arrested. You won't be arrested. It's not actually a crime. Osman says, hello, everybody. Hello, Osman. All right, so we got... Okay, so here's the sample submission. So the submission that we're supposed to send in has 4 columns. So one is the column ID, and then there's A, B, and neither. And I'm guessing it's got to be 0 if it's not that thing, and then 1 if it is that thing. I'm guessing it's like one hot encoding. Oh, no. Okay, so they're probabilities. So we're assigning the probability of each. So you could do one hot encoding if you were very confident. It looks like. Okay. And then the test stage. So this is the information that you're using to get your thingadoogle is the... Okay, so it looks like they are doing pronouns other than his or her. He grew up in Evanston, Illinois, the oldest, and his high school days were spent at New Trier High School. Oh, I see, it's cut off. Oh, so it's the his that occurs 284 characters, I'm guessing, into the sentence. Okay, so these aren't single sentences. These are more like passages, and potentially whole Wikipedia articles. Let's see, what's the largest number we have here? Probably more like paragraphs, because we see like most of the character counts are within 300, 340 characters of the start of the span. All right. Ryan says it's possible to write something across multiple lines and then condense them back down to one. Also, the probabilities don't have to add up to 1. Okay, that's good to know. I would like them to, just because that's the sort of thing that makes me happy, but noted. All right. So, yeah, we've got 2,000. One of these is a repeat. Okay, presumably in the one that is a repeat text, we are looking for different, we're looking for a different pronoun disambiguation thing. Okay, so let's read in the test data, I guess. So, data equals pd.read_csv, and then is it still in the same directory as it would be otherwise? Yeah, nice. That didn't work. Why not? Is because I didn't run the cell that imports pandas? No? Error tokenizing data. C error, expected 5 fields in line, saw 6. Okay. Ryan says, these examples are really hard and I frequently can't resolve them even manually. And the answer to life says, just whack out the BERT everything. I can see BERT being an option here. Sorry, I'm thinking about it. Yeah. It is an option if you do... Yeah, we could. My worry is, so I mentioned that transformers in particular, there's some experimental evidence suggesting that they're not great at hierarchical relationships. So co-reference resolution is like the canonical hierarchical relationship. So that might cause problems. Ryan says, you have to pull in some of the data from GitHub. Roland Yu says, pronoun offsets appears to be how far away the subject is, or is it just the ID of the pronoun in question? My assumption is that it's actually the index of the character of the first letter of the pronoun. I could be wrong on that. The answer to life says, we can consider it just as a simple classification problem, no? Yes, I would take a classification approach here, but I think that there's absolutely room to do as much sentential modeling as you like. Yeah. First, let's read the data in, because we still haven't got that done. Expected 5 fields in line 3, saw 6. So it must be looking for a... I'm guessing it's actually looking for comma separated value, and we want a tab separated value. All right. So how do you read in CSVs and pandas? How about that? Let's see if that'll work. /D? Is that the right direction? Yeah, that was the right direction. Good job, Rachel. The answer to life says, maybe Elmo with modified LSTMs. My gut says that that might work better than BERT. Maybe. And Dave Dyer says, read_table worked. It's good to know. It probably goes through, it probably looks for all of the common delimiters and then picks the one that you want. But I've been learning how to be Pythonic, and I know that specific is better than general, so I'm being specific. All right. Let's look at the first... Yeah, so let's actually figure out what the offset is first so that we can figure out how to SAMPLE. Because I don't think it's tokenized. I think that it's going to be counting by characters. Data.text, and give me the first one. So if we look at... so here's the whole first... let me get rid of that so it's a little bit easier to see. Here's the whole first sample. Zoe Telford, played by the police officer girlfriend of Simon, Maggie. Oh, sorry. Zoe Telford played the police officer girlfriend of Simon, Maggie, dumped by Simon in the final episode of Series 1 after he slept with Jenny and is not seen again. Phoebe Thomas played Cheryl Cassidy, Pauline's friend and also a year 11 pupil in Simon's class. Dumped her boyfriend following Simon's advice after he wouldn't have sex with her, but later realized this was due to him catching crabs off her friend Pauline. Oh, the drama. Ryan says it's the first character of the word pronoun or name A or name B. And then that's what the offset is. That is helpful. Thank you. So we should be able to get the word by... Actually, let me see. Does this work? Yes, that does work. Excellent. So we can index into strings by the character index, which is what I was checking. I'm actually going to keep my little example here. So dot pronoun dash offset. These column names, man. Will that get me a slice to the end? It will not. Oh, wait. It's data dot pronoun offset, and then we want the first one, except this isn't going to work because there's a dash in the name. Yeah, that did not work. Yeah, okay. The life says, holy moly, my native language is English, and that sentence confuses me. Yeah, this is a good rich data set. You can really sink your teeth into it. DediQ says split by space. So we are definitely going to have to tokenize for sure. But I feel like that's the second step after we figure out how to get the specific words that we're interested in. Because we don't have the information that we're given, the offset isn't the index in terms of words, it's the index in terms of characters. So, what's a quick Python function for cleaning column names? Is that an option in read underscore CSV? Nope, I don't want a buffer error. Assertion error. Okay, so I have lots of options for errors. Nikotuba says put it in double quotes. All right, let's try that. So we got a different error, which is good. I'm assuming that actually this whole thing will work, first of all, so let's try that. Whoop. Okay, so that is not good syntax. Data.columns. Nikotuba says data frame. Okay, I see. So the dot syntax only works if it's a good, well-formatted name. Okay, there we go. That's helpful. Thank you. So we want the slice from there to the second name, I believe, I think would make sense. Assuming name B is always after name A, and I don't know that that is the case, but it looks like a reasonable assumption. Actually, let's look at the data. So if we look at this, we can see that A offset has a mean of 194ish. The B offset has a mean of 232ish. So it looks like B offset is always after A offset. So that is helpful. And the pronoun offset is actually probably going to be after the last one. Is that always the case? Yeah, yes. Okay, so I'm making some assumptions here that could, okay, it's not the case here. So I'm making some assumptions here that could be potentially very harmful to me later on if I assumed that the pronoun always came after. Okay, so what I want to get is so I'm just interested in looking at the span that has the information that we're interested in it. Actually, no, I think the things that I'm interested in, okay, so they also give us the names. So it might be easiest to say, so it might be easiest to tokenize and then look at the things that match the A and the B rather than looking at the offsets. So I'm assuming that the offsets are given to us for instances where there are multiple thingadoogles, stuff dudes. What are they called? Multiple occurrences of the same name. Whew, wow, it's been a long day, y'all. Plus, I've been worried that we're gonna lose power and we're gonna have to like jury rig something to keep Gustav warm, so very stressful. So let's tokenize. But we can't treat it all as a single text. We're going to have to tokenize, but keep it within a data structure that allows us to have tokens for a single sentence together, and also we want the oh my god, order. We want order to be preserved. Wow. Oh, sorry. I hit the microphone with my glasses. So I think the best way to go about this would be to start by tokenizing, which I just said. And if I'm going to be doing a bunch of I think I'm actually going to use NLTK for this. NLTK tokenization. And the reason is because I would want to try a bunch of different things and probably try some things that are a little bit weird. And NLTK is a lot more flexible than something like Spacey. Okay, so the tokenizer span tokens start end, where start I and I is the corresponding token. Okay, good. So that's helpful. Returned a tokenized copy of S. So you might want to do, well, first let's import it. LTK.tokenizer as tokenizer. Oh, that didn't work. No module named. Oh, that's right. It's because it's called just tokenize. And then let's start by tokenizer snap. All right, that did not work. Oh, right. It's called tokenize. Isn't it? What was it called? Tokenize. Yeah. It's called tokenize. It's in nltk.tokenize, right? Let's just import nltk and see. Tokenize. Module object is not callable. Ryan says you're free to use a tokenizer, but it's going to be a lot of trouble beyond just using splitting on spaces because your character offsets will no longer be accurate. That's true, but we will have so the character offsets won't be accurate, but we will have the tokens that we are looking for. So I'm hoping it'll be a little bit better because that's what's in pronoun A and B are the specific tokens. Although I guess, oh, it's not A and B that are the problem. It's the pronoun, isn't it? Because there's going to be multiple pronouns. Well, actually, let's start this in the dumbest possible way. Let's do the dumbest thing, which is to assume recency and say that the most likely output is the token that is closest. So trying to think how to do that. So let's figure out how to do that. Someone says no pronoun necessary. Oh, for this one. Yeah, we can get rid of that. Ryan says that's literally what I did in my kernel too. Haha. Okay, then I won't do that. I'll do something a little bit less obvious. So let's say, so pronouns are never going to refer to things after them, right? Almost never. So one thing that we can do is we can check for instances when the pronoun occurs after, so like here, what? Somebody is called Hell? Like that's their name? So in this example, we have the name Henry Rosenthal that comes after the pronoun his. So in this example, it's more likely that Hell is referring to Hell than Henry Rosenthal, probably. Although we can just check that. Let's get rid of this. Goodbye. And that was 4, right? Oh. I mean, you can't have pronouns that come before the things they refer to, but it's sort of bad discourse. All right, so the thing that we're looking for is her Santa Fe Dr. Omnick. Is this the right one? Current members of crime. He grew up in Evanston. This is not the right one. Okay, so it's actually 3 was the one that we were looking for. So let's see if my hypothesis is right. The current members of crime have also performed in San Francisco under the band name Remote Viewers. Strike has published 2 works of fiction in recent years, Portraits of Hell, which is listed in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame library, and A Loud Humming Sound Came From Above. Rank has produced numerous films under his real name, Henry Rosenthal, including the hit The Devil and Daniel Johnson. So as it turned out, I was 100% wrong, and his refers not to Hell, but to Henry Rosenthal, even though it comes after the pronoun. Dave says maybe first time name and first time pronoun. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. You know what we can do? Co-reference resolution Python. Oh, here we go. Fast co-reference resolution. That is the thing that I want. It is likely that anything pre-built is going to have the same problems that the original Gapminder dataset was developed to look at, but it might be helpful. All right, it is a pipeline expression for Spacey. Okay, I do like Spacey. Production ready, integrated into Spacey. Very fancy. Brief introduction. Blog post. And then you can see here are, it looks like some weights from some number to some other number, and they can be positive or negative. I don't know where these weights are coming from. So it looks like it okay, so it tries to link noun phrases rather than individual words, and it also does the whole sentence. So that could be helpful. That could be useful for us. DediQ says, can you share the link on Twitch? For sure, for sure. This is called Hugging Face / Neural Co-Ref. All right. Let's look at this blog post. Scroll. All right, trained embeddings, large co-reference annotated data set, the onto notes that Ryan talked about earlier, which is even more gender and biased. So we are probably going to have a problem with this. Oh, Chris Manning. Stuff about Stanford. Okay, I was hoping for documentation here, and that is not what we got. There we go. Okay. So let's try this little example and see if we can get that working, because I'm guessing that installing this is going to be a bit of a pain. Let's find out if I'm right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to install the specific co-reference things. You may also import it directly. Let's try this. Choop. I don't think this is going to work because I think we can't change directories to a directory that doesn't exist, but let's find out. Oh, there's the heater. Ryan says, I should not have worked on this beforehand. At least I knew I was on the right path. The library is from Spacey. I spent time getting it to work. Dependency hell. I have the directions in my kernel. You are in for a bad time. Oh, I don't want to know that. Unable to access. Directory dot is not installable. File setup.py not found. All right. Bash can't cd into neural co-ref. Could not. Oh, vdur. You know what would help a lot would be if I turned on the internet. Although Ryan says that this is a might be a little bit of a problem to get up and running, so I might try a different library possibly. Ryan says you can copy 2 lines from my kernel and it will work. Dave asks for a link. We may not be able to get the link to work because I don't have my work computer open right now, so I can't approve stuff on the YouTube channel. Directory dot is not installable. CD. What's, oh my god, Jesus. So we should be able to do this. Oh, I didn't actually need to do that. Alright. Can't find model. Doesn't seem to be a shortcut link. The Python package or valid path in the data directory. Actually, let's look for co-reference gapminder Python. Python gapminder. Oh, that's right. Gapminder is a library in R. That's why it sounded so familiar. That's okay. Noted. Noted. Mystery solved. You need a specific version of Spacey and SciMem or else it will break. Ryan says, that sounds awful. Let's do something else. Plus, if you've already worked it out, then it exists, and I don't wanna replicate a bunch of work that's already been done. What was I looking for? Oh, right. Why am I double clicking? Gap. Balanced corpus, knowledge acquisition, structured representations for co-reference understanding. 2017. The curses of co-reference resolution. Core NLP, which I believe is what I believe so. Core NLP is the Stanford library, and I believe that is what Facehugger is implementing. Leveraging co-reference to identify arms in medical abstracts. I wonder if that means like physically arms, like actual like people's arms that they have. Ryan says, Google didn't release any of their code to benchmark against, at least that I could find. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, there we go. Somebody says, you can try the Python wrapper implemented in the GitHub repo. The repo contains two main files, core.nlp and client.py. Core.nlp.py and client.py. Perform the following changes to get core NLP working. Ugh. Yeah. Let's see if this works. A lot of people like core NLP, so I don't know if we have it installed or not. So definitely that reference to a file path isn't going to work in our environment. Why can't I copy and paste? Good. So let's see what sort of errors we get here. Nomad nodule named Stanford Core NLP. So this line definitely isn't going to work. So let's try installing Stanford CoreNLP. Could not find. Satisfies requirements. No matching distribution found for core NLP. All right. Install Stanford Core NLP. Bigger. Okay. Overview, usage, additional tools, download? I'd prefer not to download it if I can. Sources available on GitHub. For more information, see the download page. To download earlier versions. Okay. I would prefer not to have to do this from the jar. That would be great. I think the easiest way to figure out how to install it on Kaggle is to see Stanford Core NLP. Who else has installed it? People are like, you spelled Stanford wrong. There's an extra D. There's a typo. I think it may need some capitalization. Stanford. Oh, Stanford. I see. Well, maybe they should have a name that's easier to say. Oh, okay. Requirements already satisfied. Requirement already satisfied. Successfully installed. All right, all right, all right, all right. Some of this is definitely gonna break. Yeah, that's what I thought. Do I need to point it anywhere? Does it have a default? I do. So I need to create an object. I don't know what this object is. Let's go find the docs. Tell me more about the documents. And it is licensed under new version 3, so that is useful. Cite the papers that cover the core individual components. Yeah. This is just gonna straight up be the paper, huh? Yeah. Usage. Here we go. Running co-reference resolution on raw text. That's what we want to do. The software is now fully incorporated, so all you have to do is add the dcoref annotator to the annotators property in Stanford Core NLP. For example, dcoref to the end of a list of text annotators. Okay. I'm still gonna see if someone on Kaggle has done Stanford Core NLP. Someone has worked with this previously, so I can see discussion, competition, a person, Spacey and Karis, location analysis. That looks like it might have the imports and stuff so that we can just use their good work. Metalink says, good morning from Bangalore, 6:16 here. That is really early. Actually, no, that's not that early. Sometimes I'm up by 6:15. All right. Oh, interesting. So they're using Core NLP and NLTK. Interesting. Okay, so this must be the language model and whatnot. Oop, nope, that's not what I wanted. I just... Yep. No. Oh my gosh. Copy. There we go. So this might take a minute. No module named Core NLP. Did this run without errors? It looked... Nope, it definitely ran with errors. Failed with exit code 1. Okay, so that's not helpful. Ryan says, I saw something the other day saying you could use Core NLP via the Spacey API. I haven't looked into it yet. It's possible that they're not going to have the most recent version available through the API. Prist Reality says CX. And the Answer Live says, wait, I sort of forgot what we're trying to do. Oh, so we're trying to, so there are existing co-reference resolution implementations, and we're just trying to get one of them to work. Specifically the Stanford Core NLP 1, and their usage example stops halfway through, so that's not helpful. What if you gave us full documentation that was independent? Sorry, I'm being sassy. Let's see the software page. Maybe the documentation's there. Core. Named entity recognition. Okay, here's what it do. Yes. No. I want documentation. None of that is helpful. Usage. Okay, migration guide, command line usage, API, import, basic pipeline example. Okay, so it's adding specific annotators. So this is the annotators that we would want to Okay, I see, I see. So this is adding annotators for everything. Generating annotations. So let's try this. Scroll, 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 and then remove everything that isn't co-reference resolution. No, not everything. Just everything in this text box. There we go. And let's go to the end for this, I think. Because I don't think this little example that they've shown us is ever going to work. So, goodbye. Is this Java? This is Python, yeah? Nikotuba says, what is this co-reference stuff? So it is from the gendered pronoun resolution competition. And the idea is that we have text that has pronouns and names, and we need to figure out which name the pronoun refers to. Is Hunasu says, good morning from Russia. It's 3:49. That's very early. Some folks are saying, like, isn't this Java? I think it looks like Python to me. Yeah. Anyway, let's get rid of this. We don't need the dependency or the constituency or NER. Actually, maybe we do want NER. I'll save the NER. Named entity recognition. Yeah, part of speech might be helpful. Print some things out. Annotators. We want to tokenize split. Yes, yes, yes. Nope. I mean, we might want parsing at some point, but at this point, I for sure do not. Yep. Speaker of quote. We're probably not going to be able to get that to work. Sample quote. That's probably not going to work. And this probably isn't going to work because I've removed all the stuff that does it. So, does this work? Invalid syntax. Because you can put semicolons at the end of the line in Python. It's just extremely highly discouraged. Is this Java? That would be unideal. All right. Nikotuba says println is Java's function, right? Very possible. Oh yeah, that's a curly bracket. All right. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So this is Java code. Thank you. Not gonna work. Interactive model from other languages / packages. So maybe this is where the Python is. Packages using Stanford Core NLP server that we've developed over the last couple of years. You should probably use one of them. So we should use this package. A Python wrapper to Stanford Core NLP server version 3.9 PyPI page. Okay, I see. Oh, and NLTK also has an interface. I was reading that and then it moved. Interface to Stanford Core NLP using the server. There's a nice page of instructions. Excellent. I am not super worried about dependency parsing, which is the most heavy lifting part of Stanford Core NLP. And I'm also not particularly wedded to their particular thingadooble. What's it called? The thing. Oh my god. Their belief about how syntax is structured is one of the ways that you can go about it, and there's a lot of grumpiness around it. Lots of people are like, it's Java. Yeah. Java sort of looks like R to me, but it's also kind of looks like Python to me. Sadly, it isn't Java. Yes, thank you. Thanks for pointing that out, guys. I would definitely have spent longer trying to get it to work, just being like, oh, this is just the part of syntax in Python I just have never used yet. That's sort of weird, huh? Set up the server. This may or may not work. Where's this one? Let's see this one. Installation, import, Java libraries. This backend server will contain a lot of... so I don't know that we have any way to actually install the server. So what am I saying? I don't know that this will work. We can try, but I don't know that it will work. Because I don't think that we have Java installed in our Dockers. I'm pretty sure we don't. Whoop. Invalid syntax. Where? Oh, it's in Python 2. Right? That's Python 2, yeah? Yeah. This is Python 3? National Life says, what about the NLTK version of Core NLP? Yeah, I'm thinking that sounds better and better as time goes on. So let's see. NLP, Linton. Here we go, NLTK. Let's try this. I'm just going to try a bunch of stuff until I can get something to work. Make sure it's greater than 3.3. I think we're up to date on NLTK. Get the full model. Okay, so we're downloading the packages rather than opening a connection to the server, which might work a little bit better. Oh, no, we still need to start the server. Ooh, we may not be able to use Core NLP. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Ryan says, I think Spacey is our closest thing to out-of-the-box co-reference we'll get. Ugh. Yeah. All right. Spacey co-reference. I remember we... Okay, so why did we start using Hugging Face and then stop? Oh, that's right. You said it was hard. So I also know that you've gotten it to work. So yeah, here we go. Kernels. Top 3 NLP library tutorial. Spacing applying Spacey co-reference, but nothing goes right. And I think this is Ryan's kernel. Dave said, did your kernel end up working? Maybe. It looks like. So loading in the data. So this is from, not YouTube. Oh my God. GitHub. Wow. My brain, it just fell out of my ear at some point today. And then the competition data, so a little data augmentation. And then installing it. Okay, and then installing the specific versions that you want. So, I am actually going to fork this kernel. First, I'm going to upvote it because you should always upvote kernels you fork. That's just good manners. Ryan says it kind of worked. Nikotuba says mouse. Mouse emoji. All right. And right now I'm just going to load the data in rather than going and getting all of the data from GitHub because it is almost 5 and I'm tired actually. All right. Read in data. Excellent. And let's run these. Collecting, downloading, thinking. Requirement satisfied, requirement satisfied, requirement satisfied. I'm glad that everything has been done satisfactorily. And also I'm going to collapse the output of this cell so that we don't have to look at it. And I believe I can collapse it in my notebook by double clicking on it, on the margins. And that's a base Jupyter thing. But it is going to take just a second to finish up. Oh, interesting. Does it pop it open every time it runs a new line of output? Let's find out. Or did I accidentally double click something that I didn't think about? Ryan says the beginning loading in data bit is borrowed from the EDA kernel. Oh, okay. Successfully built. Fantastic. I love successful buildings. Oh, we're building other things, huh? Oh, okay, and we're doing Spacey. That's right. I was like, Spacey's installed. It's a specific version that you need. All right. And then we are loading in the language model. And then this is a white space tokenizer. So this is a custom one that splits on Spaceys. Spaceys is good, but it makes it much more complicated if the tokenizer is changing character lengths, because that's part of the information we have from knowing where the pronouns and reference terms are. Okay. And then here's a function to go through and get the right pronouns out. And some of them are not resolving correctly. And then doing the thing where you figure out how far away they are from the pronouns. So this is the eventual submission that Ryan made. That's the thing that we were talking about doing earlier. Sort of like the dumbest possible way of doing it. Nikitoba is still playing around with emoji. I'm wondering, are you trying to like, are some of them getting blocked and some of them going through and you're figuring out what's getting caught by the filters? Ryan says, I don't mean to brag, but I did both of those lines of code in under 3 hours. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, it's still thinking. I'm assuming you mean these 2 lines of code with the dependency problems. So, yeah, am I thinking for instead of, actually, let me see what you did before I say that, and you can, pronoun offset, A offset, B offset, position, word index, offset, blah, 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 blah. Okay, because we don't have any guarantee that any of the names or pronouns are unique in the particular, what's it called? The particular, we don't have any guarantee that the thing we're looking for is unique in the span of text that we're interested in. There we go. So I don't think we're going to get to it today because I am so tired. I'm gonna wrap it up soon, but I think one of the approaches you could take is do some dependency parsing, which is probably gonna be your best bet in terms of capturing the underlying syntactic structure. And these are, I mean, they're hard examples, right? It's someone said that they're a native English speaker and it was hard for them to figure out which pronoun pointed to which word. It's very information dense. There's a lot of new entities being mentioned in the text. So yeah, that's all I have there. Nikotua says, it's 2 a.m. in Poland. I'm out. Good luck. That actually sounds like a good idea. I think I could use a nap. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. I know we spend a lot of time just trying to install stuff, but based on my experience in NLP, that is a good chunk of what you end up doing. It's not NLP, but I spent an entire summer in grad school trying to get Linux audio and video codecs to record audio on the laptop I was taking into the field so that I could actually get field recordings for my experiments, and I never did get it to work. I spent a lot of time on it and got very comfortable like futzing around with Linux, so I guess that was the bonus, but the downside was that I could not run the specific experiments I wanted to run, which was unfortunate. Ryan says, I don't know if it makes sense. I iterated through the words and counted their letters in order to keep track of the character index, and when I had a match with the offset index, I pulled those words. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then the if there were multiple spaces between them, then you'd get your count being off. The answer to life says, imagine being a sysadmin. Sometimes I do, and I'm like, glad I don't do that job. I don't think I'd be very good at it. I don't think I'd be a very good software engineer, to be honest. I would get, not lonely, but like, if I spend too much time just sitting and working, I tend to get a little bit antsy. Well, this was sort of a frustrating one. Not as frustrating as last week when we got blank output. And we might go back to that next week. I may or may not be here on Wednesday because I'm going to be traveling, and I might try and figure out if I can get streaming set up on my laptop. And if I can't, I won't be here on Wednesday. And we'll finish up Bert later. And if I can, I'm very excited to talk to you from someplace that's not my usual place. But I should definitely be back next Friday, except they're also calling for snow next Friday, again, in Seattle, which is not a city very well situated for handling snow, so we shall see. Thanks for joining, guys. I'm gonna call it a day here. I hope you guys have a great weekend, or rest of your weekend or week, and I will see you in the future. Bye!